Hi everyone, Ben here. So tonight I'm going to do a pearl pour, but I'm going to do a dirty cup pearl pour. So I haven't done dirty cup. I don't actually do dirty cups pours very often, except for those couple I did the last two videos. So I'm going to do it with the pearl pour this time. So I'm trying to go to the colours that I know work well together, and then once I've got that and I know it's working well, then I can go into other colours with it. But I have a blue that I made up using, so these are all marte paints. So I've got a blue here, and I use phthalo blue and a bit of white. So I think it was 2 parts phthalo blue, 1 part white. Then I have purple, light purple, white, black, and a silver. So I'm putting the silver in the cup, and then I'm using, which I better double check, it is a copper pearl color. So I'm using, this time I'm using decoart dazzling metallics in the copper color, and these are all just marte. So I'm including the silver. I'll give you the got my little bit of paper. So I have used, in the 3 colors, it's 20 grams paint, 40 grams floetrol. So there's 60 in total in each of these 3. In the black and the white, it's 10 grams paint and 20 grams floetrol. And in the silver, it is 15 grams paint and 30 grams floetrol. So altogether that makes 285 grams. And in this, there is the pearl color, there's 35 grams paint and 35 grams floetrol. So this is 1-to-1, and all the rest are 2-to-1. So I'm so hoping I get lots of pearls. But yeah, so I haven't used the decoart dazzling metallics, but I have used the large bottle of decoart Americana metallics, and I've used the extreme sheen. So being a decoart, I have been told that it should work, but sometimes you just gotta test and see. So just give them a stir, and pour it in. So I'm going to put in probably 3/4 of the paint the first time. And I'm just pouring it in. So I really liked how the dirty pour came out when I did the 2 infinity pours. So I thought, you know what, that was quite interesting. Let's try it in a pearl pour. So I'm going to go high so it mixes through quite well. So I used virtually 3/4 or 2/3 of the paint in those, and then I'm going to use all on all, and then go back to using the last bits of these. So that way there it's just a bit mixed up in case some sits on the top, which usually it falls into the bottom when I do it up high, but when I scrape this last bit out, it will sit on top, and that's why I thought I'll save some of the other paint to last. So this is hopefully going to look really well. So virtually the blues and the purples should go well with having the copper coloured pearls. That's my hopes anyway. So this shouldn't take long, so I'm just going to quickly do it while I'm still on camera. It's just a matter of getting as much into the cups as I can, in a whatever kind of fashion. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's why dirty pours are like that. You just kind of put it in. And I don't know how this silver's going to go in a dirty pour, but I'm hoping it's going to be really cool. Usually I find when I use silver in like dirty pours or flip cups, it kind of does disappear a little bit, but who knows, and there was no harm in trying. Sometimes it looks like it's disappeared, but then when you actually, when it dries, it actually starts showing up because you don't always notice it when it's dark. So let's go dark colour first. So I always seem to go for, when I do something new, I tend to go for purples and blues because I know how they react well. And then once I've got a technique down, then I kind of branch out and do different colours. Sometimes it's best to go with what you know at the time. I'm going to go this purple now and do the blue last. So yeah, so no rings, no jiggles, just pour it over the pearl colour and hope to be amazed. Hope is always the main word. But yeah, so I brought a bunch of these because the store had them on special. So I only got them yesterday. Well, when I say a bunch, I got 3. So sorry if you don't like seeing this, but at least this way here you get to see how it was layered. If you're not interested in seeing how it was layered, you can always just skip forward until you actually see the pouring and the tilting and all that bit. It's really not too long. It's just for some people are still learning and they want to see how it's done, and it also helps me realize whether I layered them right or layered them wrong. You learn your own little tips as well. So what I'm actually going to quickly show you too is these plastic lids are what I use to pour on. So it's still got a bit of paint on it. It's winter, so they're taking a little bit longer to dry. So I pour over these plastic lids. And then I've got like 3 of them and I just rotate through them. When they're dry, you just get the paint and peel it, and like this is probably a little bit tacky. You just get the paint, peel it, and it just peels straight off. So these beets haven't, because they were a little bit thicker, so the paint's still wet there. Super easy if you want to get skins, or if you just want to keep your work area relatively clean. All the paint goes in here. Wait till it's dry, peel it off, and you can use it for artwork, throw it away, or whatever you like. And if I wanted to, I could just get put it in the warm sink for a bit, scrub it, and all this other little dry bits that I haven't picked off will come straight out. Really good, I find. I just get the cheap level ones from the hardware store. Any hardware store should have, well, even some of the shopping department stores have canvases and that now. I mean, lids. So it's just a real good and easy way. It means I'm not throwing away as much paper towels and everything. It's just what I use. I haven't really seen many people use them, but I think they're fantastic. They fit my 16 by 12 canvases really well, with just a little bit of an overhang. If I got to do a bigger piece, I'm going to have to get something else, but for the moment, this works well for me. So I'm getting my gloves ready. I might pour my pearl colour down first. Let me just make sure I'm recording. Yep. I'd hate to do all of this and then realise it wasn't recording. So I went a little bit silly today and brought a few more paints while they're on special. But it's good. It keeps me occupied, and I love doing art. It's what I think about all day long, and then when I get home I'm like, yeah, I get to do this. So that's the best part about it. So just pour this into the middle, as much into the middle as you can. I have a habit of sometimes putting it a bit off center, not meaning to, it just happens to be what happens when I do it. So, and the other good thing is, which I was supposed to mention when I was showing you the trays, I occasionally, like especially if I'm doing something like a pearl pour, I will move this canvas off once it is done onto another lid, and then all this, I get lots of gold and pearl colors mixed with the paint on the lid afterwards. And what I do is, so I've just got a packet of this time I've got little wooden stars. I hope you can see them through the packaging. I just get you get a pencil or whatever, put a bit of blue tack onto the end of the pencil, and then just push it down onto one of the stars, and then I just dip them in, and then I get a painted star, and then you can use them on artwork, attach them to a birthday card or something, and it's a way I reuse the excess paint that comes off. So it's just another little tip. We all have little things that we do. I'm probably not going to be making necklaces or things with the skins, so I make little, whenever I see those little wooden shapes on special, or they're usually quite cheap at cheap shops, you just get them and I just dip them in. I should show you next time some that I've already done. They do come out a little bit more muddy because the colours come off, but hey, that doesn't matter. Alright, so I'm going to pinch the cup just because it's easier to pour when it's got an actual proper end. So that's how my cup looks here, and inside's all just mixed up. And we will just pour. I'm purposely not trying to make any set pattern. I wanted it to just be a straight pour with the dirty cup and see what effects I get this time. As much as I like ring pours and jiggle pours, I thought, you know, sometimes you just got to do something a little bit different to normal and see how it turns out. And it looks like I'm getting some cells anyway from the silver and the black reacting. Okay, oh, beautiful looking cup. I love the cups. Sometimes I wish they were something I could hang up. So, gloves on. So good that all that copper is under. Oh, I've torn my glove. It's good that all the copper is actually underneath all of this colour. So sometimes I find it pushes out to the edges, but this time it's definitely underneath. So, and let's tilt. I'm gonna go my usual. I usually go that way, that way, that way, that way. It's just, I don't know, I'm a creature of habit. So tilt over the edge, come back. I'm not going to spin it around. You should still be able to see it on camera from your angle. I just don't want to waste too much time. I actually might do this bottom corner first. Over. And back. It's getting a little bit slower moving, but it's getting there. I'm going to lose a lot of that silver. That's what I was hoping not to lose. Oh well. And it's over. Now, I'm bringing it back down. I hope you guys can still see it. So all I'm doing is bringing the paint down. So the heavier part is down in the middle and stretching out that last side that I tilted over. So it's getting there. It's taking its time a little bit, which is good. That means I don't have too much paint left over. A little bit more. Sorry, I got to tilt it a bit too much for you guys to see. There we go. Now I'm just going to touch up the corner. This corner was a bad corner. I didn't go over that very much at all. So this felt a little bit thicker than it normally does when I do these pearl pours. But we will see. I use the same measurements and the same ratios, so hopefully it's just hopefully it was my imagination that it was thicker, and it's still going to turn out the way I want. So now I just get my gloves off. That's how I'm happy with it, how it is. I'm actually quite pleased. This side's a little bit more... Sorry, I got dirty hand somehow. This side's a little bit more plainer, but it's not too plain. But I'm hoping if the pearls come up around the edges, then that won't matter. I love this side, and it's kind of got a ring in it, even though I didn't do a ring pour. So interesting. Now I will get my blowtorch. So I used a fair amount of pearl paint, and I also used mont. So last time I used this exact same recipe, except for I used a different pearl paint, and I got quite good results. So I'm hoping that I will get good results again. I better. So different pearl colours actually have different like thicknesses, like some are quite thick, some are quite thin. So I'm not sure exactly how to adjust them just yet, to which way I should go, whether I should make it thinner or thicker. So I'm hoping it just works out. I don't have a lot of pearls on the edges, which is concerning me a little bit, because that's normally where I get most of my pearls. Pearl pours can be a finicky thing. Sometimes they work absolutely magnificent, and sometimes you're standing there going, what happened? Why haven't I got my pearls? Especially when you use the gold paint, or the metallic paint. It's not the cheapest, it's not overly expensive, but you kind of want it to work. And if it doesn't, I'll just have to go back to the drawing board. But that's why I try to do an interesting pour when I do pearl pour. So if the pearls don't actually work, you still got a nice artwork. So that way you're disappointed that you didn't get your pearls, but it's not the end of the world because you still got a nice artwork. So as time goes on, I'm starting to get more and more concerned. Because I used a fair amount of pearl paint. In total it was 70 grams once you mix the paint and the floetrol together. So I should have very good results, because the last one I did don't know if I've got it to show you, turned out with quite a lot of pearls with this same mixture. But I will say, if it doesn't turn out, I'm going to blame the cold weather. Because since it's gotten colder and colder, I've had less and less pearls come up in my pearl pores. So I will actually blame the weather. Don't want to blame myself. And this is the first time I've used that decoart dazzling paint. I've normally used Extreme Sheen or the Americana decoart metallics. So, but if not, it's actually a really nice paint that I can use in just normal artwork. Okay, I think that's enough blowtorch. The sound must be frustrating. Well, I can see only one pearl, and even she's not a beauty. That one little one right there. But yeah, even the side of the canvas hasn't got pearls. I'm just checking all four sides. I got a tiny little bit on that corner. I hate it when I'm disappointed. Well, I'm not. I quite like this. But the pearls would have really set this one off. So I can't see much gold actually even down here off the canvas. When normally when I do a pearl pour, I see so much off the side of the canvas that I'm like, no, don't waste it. But I can't see a lot. I can see more silver shimmering than I can the copper. So I'm going to scrape my edges. So if you remember my tip before, always scrape your edges even if you don't need to, because it's the best habit you will ever get yourself into doing. And as humans, we are creatures of habit, and it's good to get yourself into the habit of doing it every time. Because I have woken up the next morning with a few artworks that had just melted off the edge, and they were still pretty, but they weren't what I went to sleep looking at, and sometimes it can be a little bit disheartening. So I will pause it anyway, because pearl pours can sometimes take a little while to show up, but I don't like my luck this time. I think it's going to just go, nah, you're not having any. But when I bring the camera down I'll pause it and let's see if pearls come up, and I'll bring the camera down for a close-up anyway, because there is some, it's going to be hard to see on the camera, but from the middle here all the way through here is a whole bunch of silver, even through this. It's actually turned out quite pretty. So let's pause it and I'll come back and hopefully there is some pearls. If not, I'll just bring you down for a close-up. Okay, so it has been about 10 minutes and no pearls. So I do not know whether it is the paint. So I don't know whether the, there we go, decoart metallics doesn't work, or whether to blame the cold weather. I really have been blaming the cold weather a little bit for not getting many pearls, because I haven't had pearls very much since the cold weather set in. But I should have at least got some, just not as many as normal. So I can't really test my theory until it warms up, which will be in a couple of months. So I might just give it a miss for a little while, especially with paints I haven't used before, and see how I go. But overall, it's actually still quite an exciting painting. It's a little bit darker than what you see in the camera. Don't know if I can get the colours a bit better. But if you come down here, light focus, all of this lacing is all the gold, the silver. And there's a bunch of silver in the core here. And even over this way, there's a bunch of silver. So it's still going to be quite a pretty painting once it's dry. Yeah, I got my little soul metallic pearl. Where's my finger? Oops, right there. My little soul survivor. But, oh well. Overall, this pattern in the middle's quite interesting. Looks a little bit like a ring, but I definitely didn't do a ring pour. And down here, so this is what experimenting is all about, guys. Seeing if it works, and if it doesn't, you just have to either try again. Whether I think weather might make the difference, so I'm going to try again with the weather. But apart from that, just having fun and testing it out. So I'm still quite interested in doing a dirty pour. I never did them before because I was a little bit like, oh, I don't know, the colours are going to mix, and I'm still quite pleased with it. So I just wish the colours were a little bit deeper that I could see. I don't know if I can adjust that or not. That's probably a little bit more accurate. I've just adjusted the lighting. Whoops, no, it reset itself. Well, there we go. So we'll just have to call this a dirty pour. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, share, like, leave comments, and hopefully I will get it all fixed in the warmer weather, and we can try out all these different paints again and see if it works. And if not, at least I know for future, don't use certain brands if you want certain effects. So fantastic. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.